Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Not in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea, out of my natural environment, which is the ocean, the beach in South Florida, and into a whole different beautiful environment up here. Got to admit, beautiful place to visit. I'll tell you where I was when I get back in town here, or when I get back in town. Meanwhile, here's a little place I visited yesterday. A friend of mine came up. He likes electric bikes and stuff, and convinced me to go buy one of those electric Sur-on bikes. I think I've only almost killed myself twice so far, but so far so good. I got to visit some pretty cool places, and I seem to like waterfalls for some reason, but who doesn't? Found this nice little one nearby, and as you can hear, I'm sitting right next to a creek myself. Again, a bit envious of you folks that live up in beautiful areas like this. Got to admit, man, it's something. I like it. But again, can't beat South Florida, can't beat the ocean in my opinion as well. Every place is nice to visit. And you always, wherever you throw your hat is your home. At least that's how I feel about it. And this feels like home right now until I get back. All right, what are we going to talk about today? And I didn't do many videos last week. I spent too much time hiking trails and walking around and doing things I normally don't do at home. So I did take a little break. Going to knock this one out. Not sure how many I'll get done this week. For the rest of the week, I'm going to try to go out and again enjoy the natural beauty of this place. Did a little fishing too. Caught a few trout. Small ones, but still a lot of fun, something I've never done in my life. But meanwhile, let's get into what the video is here about, which is, here's my quote: I feel like the red-headed stepchild of this family. And I'll get to who this is, and probably based on the title, you already know what we're talking about. But meanwhile, let's quickly talk about prices, what's going on out there. Same old shit, different day. Same old manipulation and corruption in the Crimex markets is what we're seeing out here. There's been no capitulation in the gold and silver and platinum markets. In fact, quite the contrary. Big commercial banks out there, big central banks, commercial banks are the ones out there screwing around with the price in the derivatives markets. They're not that smart to own physical. Well, that's not true. JP does. And don't underestimate JP. They are the smartest crooks of them all out there. We're almost the smartest next to the Fed. But I'm not quite sure who's smarter, Fed or JP. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Meanwhile, there's no capitulation in gold. In fact, there's quite a bit of buying out there in gold. Same thing with silver. There's not been any capitulation in silver. In fact, the available silver out there, remind you, available silver is shrinking more and more. You're seeing the result of this in higher premiums in all the silver products across the board, especially the more popular ones like the overpriced Silver Eagles and a lot of the sovereign silver products. But even down to the lowly 100-ounce bars, the ugly bricks, they're still, premiums are quite high on those things. So there's been no capitulation in silver. Why is silver down? Why is gold down? And I guess the same exact could be said about the red-headed stepchild platinum. And forgive me for using that term for all you handsome and beautiful red-headed people out there, but you've heard the saying before, and I thought it was appropriate for this because that's exactly what platinum has been, a red-headed stepchild, unloved. I've talked about it for a couple years now, quite a few years, unloved for quite some time, and I believe that's going to change. And in fact, we've already seen, I believe, the effects of this change starting to happen with the price of platinum, as you guys have noticed, has been up quite significantly. But meanwhile, in the criminal COMEX markets and the criminal London bullion markets and elsewhere, same old shit, different day. Prices are down. Great opportunity to buy real precious metals, real gold, silver, and platinum, not derivative paper shit or ETFs. I'm sorry, there are some legit ETFs out there. I believe SLV is a somewhat legit ETF, but no less, it's paper, man. You're still holding a piece of paper and an electronic receipt, all right? There's nothing like holding the stuff physically in your hands, and at these prices, why shouldn't you? Let's move into the topic of the day. Well, first, let's take a look at the criminal Crimex markets and the London bullion markets and elsewhere and see where the criminality occurred. Again, the selling, the criminality. And a lot of folks out there are going to say, well, you never complain when it goes up. Well, of course I do. I've always said that the manipulation is to the upside and the downside. How would these crooks make any money if it wasn't? But it is just the mere presence of this money. They're not there to hedge. They're not there. They're there simply to bully the price of gold, silver, and platinum around. All right, so they do it to the upside and the downside. So I don't want to hear anybody bitching. Well, you never complain when they do it to the upside. Of course I do. I complain about the whole crooked market, because a crooked marketplace, a crooked casino, does not help the product at all. Now, for the average, for us that understand that, the crookedness of the Crimex markets and the LBMA and other markets out there that are dealing in these large derivative paper deals, their credibility may be shot, but we know that gold, silver, and platinum have been around for longer than these guys. They just use it to try to make money. They use these prices. They use their marketplace, their criminal casino, the COMEX markets, the overnight markets to again abuse these particular. It's abuse of the system. And when the average Joe out there that wants to invest in something that doesn't know this looks at it and says, well, why do I want to be involved with that? Nobody wants to play in a crooked casino marketplace. But again, the difference between you and I and people that don't know better, you and I know that this crooked casino marketplace has allowed us to buy, commodities on the cheap. Think about if this was real estate, or any other product out there, and these crooks were out there driving the price of real estate down. Wouldn't you go out and buy, man? Wouldn't that make good sense to you? Well, it's the same thing with gold, silver, and platinum. Gold, silver, and platinum are like real estate, except you can move them around in your pocket. Well, maybe not so much silver, but gold. Gold, you could carry. You could carry enough gold that's worth more than most people's homes in a suitcase. All right. So I mean, there is wealth and there is portability as well. That gold has a good advantage. But no less, I kind of digressing a little bit when I go there. Take a look at the silver market. Same. No capitulation, folks. Nobody's selling large amounts of silver. That's just bullshit derivative paper markets that you're seeing right there. The dips, and again, the upside is the result of that as well. When I myself and others in these markets that understand this corruption, this manipulation, when we start to see it jump to the upside, I think really we understand that again, they could knock it down in a given time, and given the fact that there's no regulatory agencies out there worth a shit, CFTC does nothing, SEC will probably do nothing, Gensler has done not crap about it, and they talk a big game. The Department of Justice is actually, the DOJ is the only people that have done anything about the corruption in the gold, silver, and precious metals markets. But again, they never went after what the real, they went after spoofing, all right? And they fined them for spoofing. And then, and that gives these companies the ability to say, oh yeah, we got caught spoofing, all right. But the real crime is overall how they manipulate these markets in its entirety by massive short positions, and betting against the managed money longs. But again, I digress. We're going into subjects we talked about 100 times. Let's talk about platinum. Let's talk about the red-headed stepchild here. 24-hour platinum bid. And let me tell you, the platinum market, I've said it for a long time, unloved, super cheap. And what's the best time to buy a commodity, a good commodity, when it's super cheap, you know what I mean? And that's what platinum has been for quite some time. But unexciting when you see it not doing anything for as long as it did. But I'm going to get into that again. Platinum's such a small marketplace. I'm sure it is just as manipulated. But here's the difference with platinum. Big issues with platinum, and I think we're seeing it right now. Besides the fact that platinum was again, massively manipulated, just like gold and silver are. And remember, gold is a big market. They can only manipulate it so much. Central banks own gold. They'll only allow so much manipulation by the smaller commercials in the paper derivatives markets. They'll only allow so much, and they can only get away with so much because it's such a huge marketplace. They can get away day to day, but overall gold is going to do what it's going to do. Silver's going to follow it, and so is platinum at some point. But silver markets and platinum markets are so damn small. Platinum is even smaller than the silver market, I would bet. And they've manipulated the platinum market to such a low, stupid level that they've got major supply issues out there, and they're going to even have worse supply issues. I believe this is why we're seeing platinum at moving above that $1,000 market. It was above $1,100 for a little bit there. I think platinum is just massively underpriced. I believe right now, personally, that there is a massive shortage of platinum out there, and it's going to even get worse. And why, you ask me? Well, we're going to get into that in a moment as well. Let's take a look at a few things here. First, platinum. It's a chemical element, blah, blah, blah. We can read about Wikipedia stuff, but it basically, it gives you malleable, ductile, highly unreactive, precious, blah. Okay. You can read this yourself. This is the basics. It's probably one of the few places that I'll trust Wikipedia as far as, basic stuff. I mean, how much are they going to lie and politicize platinum? No, you never know. But here's the interesting thing. It occurs in some nickel and copper ores along with some native deposits, mostly in South Africa, which accounts for 80% of the world production. All right, folks, I think you know where I'm going with this. Because of its scarcity and average cost, only a few hundred tons are produced. A few hundred tons, folks, are annually, and it's given important uses. And this is, again, anything in Wikipedia, this is probably one of the most important parts of it right here. South Africa produces 80% of it. There's hundreds, only a few hundred tons yearly produced annually. It is not really an investment metal per se. In fact, I would say, such a small segment of the public and general investors buy platinum, especially in the physical form. Such a small percentage. Any amount of money that moves into platinum is just going to send it skyrocketing because it is such a small market. And not only that, folks, I'm telling you, there's not much out there in platinum. I bet you the coffers are nearly dry. And if you think that the markets are crooked with COMEX silver, wait till you probably take a real close look at platinum. I wish there was a Ted Butler for platinum because they would tell us that is probably one of the most crooked markets out there. Wiki talks about where it's used and all this stuff, but let me move past that. I just wanted to use that as a starting reference point to where I'm going here. And I got to admit that this article got me thinking. I've been talking about platinum for a long time, but it got me thinking about actually doing a video on platinum by itself. Platinum market is entering a substantial deficit this year. Here, let's kind of read what this says here. The global shortage of platinum is set to worsen in the coming quarters, resulting in the most significant deficits in a half century. That's 50 years, folks. I'm sorry. For you folks that don't know that kind of counting. That was bad of me, I'm sorry. Rolling power blackouts in South Africa, a country responsible for mining 70%, they say here. Wiki says 80, so let's figure 70, 80% of the world's supply disrupt production. It comes as a demand remains robust, and while strip supply 983,000 ounces for 2023, folks. And if you look at the production, it's none. And with South Africa out of the question, man, I think we're set up for a massive upside on platinum here. I say that, but again, look at the shortages in silver. But I think platinum is so much smaller, such a smaller marketplace. The word gets out even in a small fraction of investors. I think platinum is going to explode. Unless South Africa can just wind things up and make up for the losses that they haven't been able to do, because they're out of the game, man. They make 70 to 80% of the platinum. They're out of the game, all right? Well, anyway, good article you should read by Tyler Durden. Platinum market entering substantial deficit this year. Type that into your browser. It'll pop up real quick. It's got some good facts there. Meanwhile, is platinum a strategic metal? Not many people know this, but there's a CIA, they're probably listening now that I'm logged in, CIA.com. Don't doubt it, man. Don't underestimate these people. But anyway, the World Fact Book, who knew? Strategic materials. The U.S. is, I wanted to know what importance platinum has in the United States, okay? And you're going to find out it's a lot more than you think it does, especially when it comes to the CIA and the military-industrial complex. They are heavily reliant on platinum, all right? And the CIA readily admits the U.S. is heavily reliant on imports of certain mineral commodities that are vital to the nation's security and economic prosperity. Now, why do you think this is important? Well, folks, this is the CIA saying that metals and minerals are vital to our nation's security and economic. National security. It's metals, your platinum, your silver, and your gold. And I'm going to say platinum mostly right now in some of these strategic metals. Is platinum a strategic metal? I'm sure it is. I don't know if you can find it defined as such, but no less, it's vital to our national security. This is not me saying this or some guy saying this. Is the World Fact Book, according to the CIA. These are the people that really run the world, folks. Not the politicians or presidents, but I digress there. The dependency on U.S. and foreign sources creates a strategic vulnerability both for its economy, which they don't care about, and military to adverse foreign government action, natural disaster. Okay. The Stockpiling Act, blah, blah, blah. You can go into this right here. This is kind of interesting. It talks about the different strategic metals, what they're calling strategic metals, and it's everything, folks, man. Almost all metals, almost everything that the United States is not mining or doesn't have. It's a strategic material out there. And you can find that information for yourself. Again, it's on the CIA website, and if you don't mind them looking at you while you're talking, you can check it out yourself. All right, you know I'm a big fan of AI for certain purposes. Again, garbage in, garbage out. AI derives all its answers from information and data available to it on the internet, not information that may have been blocked or it doesn't know or can't know or whatever. And it also makes big mistakes because, not big mistakes, but it also, unless you're very specific, it'll give you a very generic answer a lot of times, and you'll see that here in a moment. All right. I'm going to talk about, and by the way, I'm outside, so if you hear a lot of background noise and what sounds like a creek and a bunch of rocks, that's what it is. So forgive the sound quality here, folks. I hope it's not too bad. And I'm making sure I'm record because I forgot to hit that record button, and wouldn't that be a shame having to do this twice? I probably wouldn't. So, anyways, let me get into the questions I asked. And again, I use AI like I would use a search engine. Understanding that, garbage in, garbage out, and that the answers I may be getting may be wrong, okay? But it's AI works faster than I can when it does the research and stuff like that, that's for sure. What I like about AI, again, it's faster than Google, faster than DuckDuckGo or whatever you may be using. So I asked, what countries produce the most platinum in order 1 through 5? Well, go figure. We already know that South Africa is number 1 up there with 70 to 80% of the world's platinum supply. That leaves 20 to 30% to these 4 countries, which is Russia. Well, we ain't getting no platinum out of Russia, folks. So guess what happens to the Western world with platinum? A strategic metal, all right? And we're going to talk about why it's a strategic metal as well. Other sources, sure, but platinum has been super cheap for a long time, and it is a strategic metal as far as price and the military goes. Zimbabwe, well, look at what kind of problems we got going in Zimbabwe, and of course Canada, the United States, which Canada, I'm sure, is producing some, but remember, South Africa, 70-80%. These countries share the remaining amount. I'm sure Russia has got to be a good 10-15% or more, or 10% at least, you would think, in Russia. And our 2 largest suppliers of platinum, not there right now. Platinum, in general, not there right now. I believe we are looking at some big shortages. And AI does point out that accounting for 80% of the world's supply, Russia is the 2nd largest producer, followed by blah, blah, blah. Okay, I asked, what vital uses does platinum serve as a strategic metal? Okay, let me get a sip of coffee here. Cheers to everybody. By the way, I tell you what, a spoiled brat I am. I brought my own coffee grinder, my own coffee beans, and my own French press. All right, just to give you what a prima donna I am on vacation. All right, I'm certainly not camping at Rough here. What vital uses does platinum serve as a strategic metal? Well, platinum is a strategic metal that is used in a variety of... some of this is just ridiculous. All right, I'm going to just go over the key points. Catalytic converters. All right, we all know that. I'm sick of kind of hearing catalytic converters, but it is a big, important metal, considering that the replacements for platinum, which are ridiculous, would be rhodium, I guess. Rhodium? Palladium, I guess, would be another one, and palladium is far more expensive. Again, platinum, big use in exhaust emissions. So, and especially given we're in the new green world, think about that. These greenies are going to want to reduce the emissions from, and that's not a bad thing either, reduce emissions from stuff. We're going to need platinum, all right? And if it ain't out there, guess what? You're going to have to buy a more expensive metal or pay more for platinum. Jewelry, screw that. Petroleum refining. I'm going to look at some key points that I'm going to call what we would say strategically important, but it doesn't list them all here. But it kind of does here. These are the 2 most important in my opinion. Petroleum refining, all right, it's used as a catalyst in refining crude oil. Electrical components, which due to its electrical conductivity and resistance to corrosion, but again, they could use gold for that, but what did they say? More expensive. Why do you think they're using platinum? It's less expensive than gold, all right? Medical applications, glass making, okay. Investment, which I'm sure is the smallest use of platinum because, I would say for every, I'm going to put it out there, probably for every 500 to 1,000 ounces of gold we sell about an ounce of platinum, and that's not exaggerating. So platinum plays a pretty critical role in many industries, it says. Again, that's basic information from a search engine, super fast search engine. What effect would a major shortage of platinum have on the economy, I ask? And I'm going to go over the key points. Higher prices. Duh, okay. Or what I asked, and it did say it. And that's number one, so it would be true. That would be the number one thing we would start to see. And what are we seeing right now? Even though we're seeing other metals kind of waffle, but platinum has seen a much higher bid. We were down in the high sevens. We're into what? The high thousands. We were at 1,100. For what reason? I think there's a big shortage. Again, platinum was showing very strong prices, even though gold and silver were kind of wandering aimlessly there for a little while too. Disruptions of industries. If there was a platinum shortage, it would cause problems with industries that use platinum. It could lead to reduced production, job losses. Okay, all right, that's all relevant. Increased competition for alternative metals, like, again, we were talking about that, gold. It drive up the price of gold or other things that you would need to use in lieu of that. Or it would, because now all of a sudden catalytic converters would have to use palladium or something. Drive the prices of them even higher. Overall, I cut it off before it could say the rest right there. Research and development, and again, that's a kind of a whole different thing. I ask, is platinum a strategic metal for the United States? And it says, yes, platinum is considered a strategic metal. It's critical for components of a number of industries. Again, I'm getting tired of automotive. What I'm trying to get to is how important is platinum to the military. And here we go. Valuable metal that has a range of uses in military, aerospace, and medical application. Again, remember I said it was petroleum refining. These are important things, folks, that platinum is used for, unlike gold. Gold is really not used for a lot of industrial uses, not thrown away. Silver is, and again, another reason why we're seeing shortages in silver. So I ask, what critical uses for platinum is there in military, aerospace, and medical applications? And if platinum was not available, how would this harm military, aero, and medical? Again, remember, with the search engine here, like a smart search engine like AI, you got to be very specific and know how to look at the answers and dig into even the answers. Question the answers of AI as well, and you'll find you'll get even more stuff. Platinum is used in a wide range of critical applications. All right, here we go. Military. Missile, folks, given how much money we spend on weapons, given how many weapons are being used right now in a stupid war in Eastern Europe, all right? Ridiculous, stupid war that doesn't need to happen and didn't need to happen, all right? We're going to need a lot of platinum for missile guidance systems, especially with the current morons in power trying to start started another Cold War, not with just one country, Russia, but with China. So the morons have started another Cold War. So we're going to need more platinum for missile guidance systems. And who has it? South Africa and Russia, all right? And we ain't getting it from Russia. They ain't going to give it to us, or I'm sure the sanctions have stopped the flow of that coming in. And as well as that, South Africa's a fucking mess. It's done. It's toast, man. It really is. Economically, it's toast. It ain't going to get fixed anytime soon. They ruined that country. But anyways, who is they? Well, just ask anybody that lived in South Africa for a long time. Is the liberals. I don't mean the liberals, but the leftist Marxists. And I shouldn't call them liberals because they're not. That was a terrible use. I'm a liberal. I'm liberal, and I'm liberal when it comes to how people live their lives. I'm conservative when it comes to money, all right? So I'm a little bit of both. But the people that took control of power in South Africa that have caused this kind of shortages and caused South Africa a nation or a country of great national resources to go to shit, turn into a shit third world country, and it's true, is Marxist communist, all right? More or less Marxist and leftist type Marxists that really don't even understand Marxism. Stupid people. That's why we've got the shortages of platinum. That's why South Africa's taking a crap. That's why platinum is going to continue to go through the roof here, I think, at some point, because there's not enough of it. Aerospace platinum is used in manufacture of rocket engines. Oh, go figure. Elon better start buying more platinum. Electrical contacts and sensors due to its high melting point, thermal stability, and resistance to corrosions. That's true. Rocket engines. Again, if anyone's got a direct line to Elon Musk, tell him that he better start buying platinum too, besides silver. There's a rumor that he did buy silver. I don't know. And medical. Most importantly, medical. All right. Well, but problem with medical is I don't think we're going to use it much, because when you turn into a shit third world country, like we're starting to do here, we ain't there, folks, and we're a long ways from it. But trust me, the people that have been running this country the last few decades, not just this last recent decade, but decades and decades, they're turning it into a shit third world country. But no less, we're not there yet. And once we are, though, medical, who cares? In third world country, there's no medical. If platinum were not available, could harm these industries. And military, a shortage of platinum could limit the productions of advanced military technology. Oh, can't have that. Can't have that, folks. Remember how much money we spend in military. It's most of our budget, 90% of it or something. Let me know if you know in the comment section, but it's huge. It's huge. And missile guidance systems, would hinder national defense. So platinum is absolutely, when it comes to rockets, all right, ballistic missiles, think about it, and missile guidance systems, and we're going to find out also radar. You're going to find out that platinum is of uber national national security metal. It is a uber metal when it comes to national security. And I don't know if they haven't figured out whether they have or they're not, but we're going to have big problems with it. Good reason to own it. Overall, it would have some significant consequences, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm going to move along here, because I want to know how rare is platinum. What is the potentiality of us having a severe shortage. So the platinum to gold ratio refers to the price of platinum. I didn't want to know that. I was asking about the geological ratio of platinum to gold. And it says the geological ratio of platinum refers to the national currency. Blah, blah. Okay, I know that. The average ratio of platinum to gold in the Earth's crust is estimated to be around 1.5, meaning 1 to 5, meaning that for every 1 ounce of platinum found in the Earth's crust, there are approximately 5 ounces of gold. However, it's important to remember that ratio can, depending on the deposits, okay? I'm sure that South Africa would have 1 to 5. That's why they're the greatest producer out there, or were, before the Marxist so-called liberals or leftists took over. They're not liberals. I shouldn't use that word. That's a misuse of the word. For example, in some copper sulfide deposits, the platinum to gold ratio can be as high as 10 to 1 or even, so anyways, 10 to 1. So that's even more significant. Platinum compared to silver is 70 to 1. Think about this, all right? Well, hold on. No. What am I saying? That's the price ratio. Silver in the Earth's crust, I understand, varies between 12 and 17%, depending on who you listen to. I thought the U.S. Geological surveys were saying like 13 or 15 or something like that, but right in that range, okay? So that's significant, 17 to 1 versus what you're saying right here. So, platinum is almost as rare as gold, okay? So there you go. So as far as where you're going to get it from, how much is available, good luck, man. What has been the historic price ratio? And I was curious about the platinum to gold. Again, where is it right here? For meaning the price ratio was around 0.6, meaning it would take approximately 0.6 ounces to buy an ounce of platinum, 6 ounces of gold. But what I really wanted is to calculate the average price ratio with all the available stuff. And this is where AI comes in handy, because it quickly found for me the LBMA average price ratio of platinum to gold for the last 50 years. 71 to 2021, which is good information, was approximately 0.73. This means it took around 0.73 ounces of gold to buy 1 ounce of platinum on average during that period. However, it's important to note that, and I also asked, when was platinum higher priced than gold, and why was it? Platinum has been historically higher priced than gold at various times in the past. The most notable period was 20th century, and platinum's price exceeded that of gold for almost 25 years. Take a note, folks. Take a note. We could see the same thing happen. I really honestly believe that. But let's see what happens in these crooked markets. This period began back in the 1970s. Well, the problem is, again, who produces it? And, there's only a couple results that come out of a shortage of platinum. Is number one, we just got to pay a ton more for it. And what does that mean? Inflation in all products that are going to be needed. And military may actually want to seize some production of platinum as well, or go out there and buy stockpiles of it too, to keep the military-industrial complex, rockets, keep those nuclear bombs flying, keep those missile systems going, all right? Boy, just imagine if we didn't have all that. We didn't get involved in other people's messes, and we kept our money to ourselves. Man, this would be a rich, prosperous country. Oh, I'm sorry, I digress again. Okay. The price platinum was also supported by supply concerns, as the majority, and this is cool, I didn't ask for this, production came from South Africa, which faced significant political and economic stability during this period, and still is, and it's even worse. However, since the mid-1990s, the price of gold has generally outperformed that of platinum. And folks, I think that is about to change. I really do believe that it just takes even such a tiny, tiny bit of money to jump into platinum. A couple billionaires jumping into platinum, or a couple big industries, or somebody jumping into platinum, is just going to cause the price to skyrocket. We could see platinum prices on par with gold, or even higher, like we did for many, many years. Why? Because first off, the market's broken, just like the silver market is broken. All right, they've broken it with their paper derivatives market. They've broken it, and they've sucked all the material dry, and even probably more so in platinum than silver on a larger level. And that can only result in a couple things. It can result in higher prices. A couple things. One thing, higher prices. That's it. That's all it can result in. I think we're going to see far higher prices in platinum. That's what we call inflation, folks. Well, anyways, I'm going to get out of there. I want to thank everyone for watching last week's video, which was Bank of America gets owned by J.P. Morgan Chase. If you didn't watch it, cool video. I kind of got into BOA, how they might get owned by J.P. Morgan, because they owe J.P. Morgan a lot of metal, my understanding. And, well, maybe not. You know, J.P., I mean, again, too big to fail, too big to jail. But, you know, at some point they will. You know, when the people that back them up can't back them up anymore, well, the whole system comes collapsing down. Leroy says global derivative market is estimated to be about 1.23 quadrillion. I don't know what is a quadrillion. Thanks, Leroy. I appreciate that. BOFA controls, yeah, again, too big to fail, too big to jail. But at some point, these too big to jail, too big to fail will take down their puppet masters. They'll also take down the people that they were holding the puppet strings for, politicians. John Lynn says, last I heard, $54 trillion. Oof, gosh, it's just unthinkable. Thanks, Metal Inquisitor. Appreciate that. Took the red pill, Matrix. Yeah, the red pill, the blue pill. Hey, listen, the red pill is a hard pill to swallow, but it's the right one to swallow. I do not like banks. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? Hope everything's well for you. Local credit seems to be the lesser of the two. Yep, probably. Bank of America, Mark Hasley. Yep. Half an hour. Did you actually say anything? Except they're all crooked. We knew that. Diane, there's so... hold on. I replied. I know. I made a smart-ass move. Reply. But wonderful. Move along, then. My job is done with you. Well, you're on vacation, right? Okay, I am, Diane. Sorry about that. I was just being snippety when I got that answer. I actually did say a lot besides they're all crooked. I talked about, again, the position that Bank of America is in with JP. That's really pretty good stuff there in content, you know. But every video I talk about how crooked these bastards are. And I get tired of it. I get tired of saying it over and over. And sometimes I think some of you guys get tired of it too. But you know what? The message has got to be repeated over and over. And if you don't repeat it over and over, people start to forget. You got to keep it in the heads of people, and it spreads it around, you know. But anyway, thanks, Diane. Have a great weekend, and hope you're going to enjoy your vacation too pretty soon. Western North Carolina, what's up? No, we're not there. Michael Matthews, hey, man. Cheers. Am I here? Give me one second. Cup of coffee. Never underestimate. Yeah, that's true. Hawaii, I love Hawaii. What a beautiful place that is. I spent some time in Kauai. And the mountains and the waterfalls and the surf. Beautiful. Didn't surf, though. I wish I had that. Catherine Turley. Nope. I didn't mean to make it in the guessing show, folks. I can tell you I am in the southeast, all right? I just really, I don't like to give too much personal detail on my stuff. I am in a kind of risky business, as you know. I shouldn't even say that. Looks like, no, but I am in the regions. Hot Springs. Got to visit that place for sure. Lots of beautiful places out there. There is gold in their hills. Absolutely. Time to redo the entire banking policies. Yeah, I can't argue with that, William. Joe McDonald's, what's up? It's not Maine. Love Maine. Spent a lot of vacations there as a kid, as a child with my grandfather. fishing the ponds there for smallmouth bass and pickerel. Pickerel, is that what you call them? Pickerel, I think, right? Pikes, pickerels. I agree. Yeah, it was a bad move. Lyndon, how you doing? And here, give you a little sound of water there, see if you can hear it. And I got to assure you, the scenery is absolutely beautiful. Different than Florida, man. But I miss Florida. I love my Florida. I really do. I love my water down there, and I love a lot of things about it. Just too crowded in South Florida. But I'm going to move someplace, probably to middle section of Florida somewhere near the water. Tom Bach says the only winner is a man that gets through entire life with ever producing even one drop of human labor in exchange. Yeah. Sadly true. Sadly true. It sounds like something Ayn Rand would say. The sound of running water. Hey, that's someone else said that. Thanks, Silverliner. Show us some video how you go search it. I wish I could. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give up my location here. When you have secret spots, it's like fishing. Any guy that is a fisherman knows that when you have a spot, it's probably not secret. There's probably other guys out there that think it is, but you don't expose your best fishing spots. And I think the same thing with your vacation spots. Never expose your best vacation spots. And it is beautiful. Thanks, JP. I'm sure you have your beautiful places too. Equinox, they've been exploring the Montana since. Awesome. Very awesome. Leeches. Yeah, I haven't worked with them yet. And it's good money compared to if you ask, a lot of money, a lot of gold and silver going to India for sure. Tim, what's going on? Platinum is looking good and even better. And coincidentally, that's what we're talking about today. Kurt Kiefer says, feels like Georgia to me. Georgia on My Mind, wonderful song by Ray Charles. I love Georgia as well. Gold is the only world currency. Absolutely true. It's again, what are the central banks buying out there? What are the big people that produce fiat buying? Gold. Why does it make any sense that gold is not way higher and down further? Why? Crooked derivative paper markets. Bix Weir, Roto-Rooter stated that Bofus Silver Stash went to U.S. Mint, Warren Buffett, and Elon Musk. Bofus Silver Stash. I don't know. I am not qualified to say that. I don't know where the research is. And he has some facts to back it up. I'd be curious about that, but it doesn't matter where it went. It just matters that BOFA is on the hook for that with JP, all right? Use canned corn on your hook. That's funny you said that. I was watching a video where people were catching with corn. Actually, I've been using live crickets, and they don't live too long once you stick a hook in them. At least not the way I've been doing it. Sasquatch country. I mean, everywhere in the southeast is Sasquatch country. Buck Williams says, are you in Dahlonega, Georgia? No, but I'd love to go there, and I'd love to do a video one day about Dahlonega U.S. gold. I got to do coin videos. I got to. I mean, my knowledge is pretty goddamn good on numismatics and rare coins, U.S. especially. I don't know why I don't do coin videos. Maybe just because to me it's like old hat, and I don't think anyone find it interesting. But thanks, Mike P. I enjoy you guys. Thanks for that, and I enjoy all your comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as well, please, if you would. And the share button is actually nice. Not sure we're going to share it, but if you know people like to buy gold, silver, and platinum, hey, share my link with them. I appreciate it. Turn them on to me. I'm not like a vacation spot or a secret fishing spot. I am open to the general public. Hey, listen, if you want to catch me somewhere where I don't have a lot of people asking me questions and I can actually do it, you can tweet me at Brian Kuzma. There's my name at Brian Kuzma right there, and I can answer questions out there. I look at it more and more. Platform I haven't used a lot, but I am more so as of late. I like the free speech platform that Elon. That's why I've gone back there and used it, and actually starting to try to use it, is because of Elon Musk, and I believe it is the truest free speech social media platform we have at the moment. And if you don't catch me on this particular social media channel that you're watching me on right now, it's probably because I said something they didn't like, which is probably not going to happen, but you never know. The worse they get, the more strict they get, the less things that you have to say to get yourself tossed off. So if I ever get tossed off that, you can find me here. And I like this format also as a free speech forum, and I recommend it to a lot of people too. I should spend more time out there looking and supporting that platform as well, since I'm using it. Well, that's it, folks. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Not really. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, anywhere from 1 ounce to thousands and ounces or millions of dollars worth of gold, silver, and platinum, we are a small yet powerful place. Why am I small and powerful? Well, because I never increased my business size. I've always kept my first business partner in this particular business told me, keep your expenses low, don't go crazy even when times are good. And I've done that, and I've been able to work on a lower profit margin than even the big guys out there because of this. So if you're looking to buy any amounts of gold, silver, and platinum, I can beat Atmex, SD, JM, Bullion, and the local people as well. All the good folks out there, because they are. Most of the locals in my area, except for a few, be careful. And most all the online guys like Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion are good, reputable, honest people. But again, if you want to be competitive, who do you want to beat? The good, honest, reputable people, and that's what I do. Well, anyways, if you don't live in South Florida, you can't visit our store between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays. I do not online sales. We have no online sales, but we do phone sales. So if you're looking to buy, but we have a minimum. It's 50 ounces of gold and 1,500 ounces of silver. That's our minimum we can do in traditional wire form payments and traditional forms of secure shipping. So if you're looking to buy larger quantities and you can't find yourself a good local dealer that'll take care of you, call me. We'll take care of you as well. Hey, listen, thanks for watching. I'm on vacation. I'll try to knock out a few more videos, but I can't promise. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.